No, I'm not going live in 7 minutes to match TD stream. I'm going live in like 1 minute. Pastel.
Done.
All right, so everyone, we are now live, and we are on strike against T-Dreads. We all here hate T-Dreads, okay?
We're on.
I don't know who that is, but I hate him.
Don't worry about it.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, this
I don't
loser knew about this for so long, and he goes live today. All right, we are on strike against T-Dreads because we are better.
Down with big T-Dreads.
Down with big T-Dreads.
Down with big T-Dreads.
Down with big dread.
Oh, man.
We will not let the funny candle man run
yeah, the
rampant
funny
any
candle
longer.
Man. Yeah, we all hate T-Dreads here.
We hate T-Dreads.
We hate TD Reads.
I don't know who that is, but I'm always up for
books. All right, the person who was originally going to read books, but then did a 180 and started doing theories. TD, if you're watching this, I'm gonna find you.
TD, if you're watching, I mean everything I'm saying. This is not a joke.
Let Mr. TD Reads fall. Absolutely, the digital dog.
T-Dreads is a good friend of mine, Spider Fan. We're just giving him crap for going live at the exact same time as me.
Oh yeah, I should probably let my Discord know.
Yeah, let your Discord know, nerd.
I told them a few days ago, but if they have an attention span similar to mine, they did not remember.
I forgot. Sorry.
You know what's funny? T-Dreads is coming on, not next week's, but the weeks after stream for notes. I'm gonna give him so much crap on stream. But yeah, chat, we always just talk for like 5 minutes early. Let people join in, see how everyone's doing. And today we're also giving TD crap. But we love TD. Y'all should make TD come over here for a second so that he can see the slander we're putting on his name.
Yeah, let's go. I love slander.
Alright, Candleman will not win.
Going on bandwagons.
Even though I only get more than like 30 views at the same time on stream, the Candleman will not beat me.
The Candleman will not win. Not today. Big Candle will not win.
We're gonna fight the Candleman. All right, when are we gonna have the UFC fight of No Raven versus Candleman?
Candleman just sounds like a really bad 2015 copy pasta.
Do you know of the Candleman? The Candleman? The Candleman! The lore of FNAF World is more important to solve.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Nah, FNAF World's more important.
Down with big
I definitely
candle.
believe FNAF World.
Down with big candle.
Down with big Find my candles.
All those goofy school drives we had to do to sell candles. It was all TJ's fault.
You know what, TD? I'll make a deal with you, TD, if you're watching this, right? You know, actually, when he goes live, everyone tell TD to look at my stream and tell him to comment when he does. I will then give him a personalized message for him. Hello, Ernesto.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ernesto.
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier.
Oh yeah, I was finally able to get
back.
down the "I hate my rotten son" voice line like down really well.
I hate
Please do it.
So it doesn't have like the mic peakiness of it, but I hate my rotten son, ungrateful boy.
Oh. Ungrateful boy, rotten boy.
It just doesn't have the peakiness of it. If I were to like make my microphone like peak a bunch and stuff, it would sound like it. Okay,
Yeah.
we're at 10 minutes. Okay, we're switching scenes to investigation now.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, that's right. Chat, you're looking at YouTube right now, even though you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be looking at the FNAF World Notes of Importance, so you know what we're going through today. So we're going through the trailers, the teasers, except the mango one, because I don't want to get demonetized. Character loading screens, Fredbear dialogue, Plushbear dialogue, Yellow Eyes dialogue, Chipper's Revenge dialogue, Deathman dialogue, OMC dialogue, the flip side, clock mini games, DD's fishing hole, and Animdude dialogue. Lots of dialogue for today.
Oh, we gotta do so much reading.
Oh, dude.
These characters yap so much.
And again, I have hidden the Google Doc link so you menaces can't get in it again. Who are watching. The only people allowed to get in are the people you see on screen. Until further notice. Yes, anonymous penguin terminal, is that you?
Huh?
Who is anonymous penguin? Okay, it's the anonymous penguin.
I haven't joined yet.
Charlie, the best one.
What? No. What?
Okay.
Oh my.
So I'm gonna see if I can stream my Discord screen in really low quality for you guys. Let me put it down to 720. Let me put it to 30 frames. All right, let's watch my computer implode.
Got it.
I still haven't updated my Nightbot, so it still says that we're doing right eye investigation.
Oh.
Okay, so we have FNAF World trailer. We're just stealing it from GameSpot because Scott's lame and deleted it.
Boo!
Boo!
Come on. Boo!
Boo! Oh yeah, I should probably mention everyone go follow these amazing people: Terminal Air, Cosmic Star, VA, and Charlie Emony. Even though Charlie Emony doesn't post content, they're just a really cool friend.
I'm working on it.
Before we start.
Yes, before we start.
Before we start, I know this is like really early in the discussion.
He says I'm the 14th best FNAF tuber. Hold on. To everyone, tell TD to get in here. I have a personalized message for him for today. Anyways, continue, Cosmic.
I was gonna say, I know this is like super early, but has anyone noticed how the FNAF World trailer is essentially the FNAF 3 good ending?
I have noticed that, yeah, but we will get to that. We're gonna watch the trailer just front to back, and then we're gonna go through it piece by piece.
Okay, because I haven't heard anyone talk about that, and I'm like, huh.
So
that's interesting.
Everyone, make sure that you're either in a well-lit room or you don't have any epilepsy problems, because there's gonna be a lot of flashing lights during this trailer. So, all right, I think we go after I turn up the volume all the way. Now that I think about it, all right, now we go.
I love this part.
Okay.
I need modern FNAF to give Mangle back the paddle ball.
Right.
I need that to be in the FNAF movie. The FNAF 2 movie. I don't know how they would do it. I don't know where it would come from, but I need Mangle to have some kind of paddle ball reference.
Wait, is Golden Freddy completely excluded from this trailer?
Might be, honestly, unless he's just later.
Unless he's one of those names that goes through here really quickly.
Yeah, I'm gonna like slow it down to 0.25 and
going
see.
through frame by frame,
Frame by
dissecting every
frame.
single name in the
Because if
FNAF
so,
World
then that's
trailer.
interesting that like every other character's there, but Golden Freddy's excluded. Even though he's
Spring
still a character.
I know Spring Bonnie
No.
and
Fredbear.
Funtime Foxy are mentioned.
Yeah, and Fredbear I saw was
In-
mentioned too.
Golden Freddy shows up after Phantom Puppet.
Okay, let's see.
I just
We're just gonna go by this just in 0.25 speed because there's no way I'm gonna notice it when it starts to speed up.
Among Us.
Okay, Phantom Freddy,
Phantom Freddy.
Phantom Chica, Phantom Foxy, Balloon Boy, JJ.
Oh, it's out of order. That's annoying.
Yeah, Withered Freddy, Withered Chica,
Yeah.
Withered Bonnie, Withered Foxy, the normal puppet, the Phantom Puppet,
Phantom Puppet.
Phantom Balloon Boy,
Phantom BB.
Funtime
Phantom
Foxy,
Funtime Foxy.
Nightmare Freddy, Nightmare
Nightmare
Bonnie, Nightmare
Freddy,
Chica, Nightmare Foxy,
Chica,
Fredbear,
Fredbear.
Nightmare Fredbear,
Nightmare Fredbear.
Paper
Nightmare.
Pals,
Paper Pals.
Spring Bonnie,
Endo
Endo 1,
Spring-
Spring Trap,
Endo-
Endo
Spring
2,
Trap.
Plush
O2.
Trap,
Spring.
Endo Plush, Golden Freddy,
Endo
there he
Golden
is.
Freddy. Okay.
Okay, so Golden Freddy is in there, it's just going so fast. So, okay, so he is included in the trailer, okay. So, thus in this case, I don't really think there's anything to really mark for this. Like,
I think it's just interesting. This is the first time that we're getting any mention or view of Funtime Foxy.
yeah. I think we could definitely
I think yeah,
nothing of importance.
because like there's Mangle, but like we kind of look at that as a different character right now. So
Okay, let's get the good old teasers up of FNAF World. We're not counting all these other ones. I'm telling
one
you
by
that right
one,
now.
let's go.
I'm not doing it.
Let's go.
One by one.
One by one.
No!
No, you can't make me.
You can't make me. This is my stream. You're on my
Michael!
channel now, Terminal.
Michael, don't leave me here. Michael.
Yeah, there's no Withered Golden Freddy, which is interesting. Because they have every other Wither, but no Withered Golden Freddy. That's just like a whole entire game thing, not just a trailer thing.
You know what they say, the same character can't occupy the same space at the same time unless their upper torso will explode.
Me when I
Well,
lie.
so would that then mean Golden Freddy and Fredbear aren't the same character?
That would also mean that Withered Freddy and regular Freddy
I
aren't the
take
same
back my
character.
statement.
I take back my statement.
I take back my joke.
You, sir, look like a clown.
I take back my silly
Yeah,
joke.
because in UCN, Withered Golden Freddy appears, but Golden Freddy doesn't appear.
Well, unless the final cutscene.
Yeah, the final
technically.
cutscene,
Yeah.
technically, yeah.
But
But
yeah,
if we use it in terms of gameplay, it's the
Okay.
same kind of deal again.
Shinchan, that is
yeah.
the Golden Freddy head in the teaser is technically a withered Golden Freddy.
Yeah, but he gets
That is
removed.
from
but then
FNAF 2.
But then he just disappears.
Yeah, he
Which
just
one
gets
does he
removed.
disappear on?
He just pops out of existence.
Okay, let's get the counting, boys. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Hold on, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 on the 18th one. Number 18 in the UCN roster.
Imagine if it was 14.
Oh, I would have
Round
started
that
tweaking.
down.
I would have started tweaking. Yeah, I don't really think there's anything in terms of like teasers because we can't look
But
at
wait.
the other one.
Raise his hand. Technically, there is the 3 that have like text over them. Would those count?
That's more FNAF 4, and that's something we're doing on FNAF 4. So
yeah, so but no, I mean like.
Plus FNAF
World
wasn't even out
to
yet.
15.
Well, I didn't even count those.
Would the count of teasers? Oh, okay.
So I don't think there's anything
14.
important in the teasers
14
either.
will commence. 14 will
Well,
commence.
except for the Mangle one, but we're doing that off stream so I don't get demonetized in the next week.
Right.
Sorry.
Are we looking at the
what
one
was
after
the,
Mangle? I think it's Balloon Boy.
Was there a Balloon Boy one? Because it's not showing up on the FNAF archive.
It's one of those completely black ones. I'm trying to find it right now. That way you don't click on the wrong one. I think that's the Mangle one that you just clicked on.
Hang on.
Yeah,
So this is the Mangle one.
I'm 90% sure. I'm trying to get to that website just to double check.
Yeah, please double check before I do it. There's number 56, number 55, and number 54.
Yeah, so...
Come on.
It's Ball Boy, not Balloon Boy. Well, take it up with them, not me.
Yeah, 55 is Mangle, 56 is Ball Boy. It's very hard to see though because this website just makes them completely white.
Like
what does it say at the bottom? Okay, I just closed out of it. Whoops.
It says madness takes many forms.
Madness takes many forms.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just say
what
like
does that
character.
even mean?
I have an idea, but I will say it in just a second. So I'll just say character roster teasers. That'll be nothing of importance. We have Balloon Boy or Ball Boy. Whoops. Teaser, and then we'll have Mangle teaser, which we're doing off stream. Can't preface that enough. So when brightened, you see Ball Boy on the ground with text that says madness takes many forms. Cancelled into madness stuff. I could see that.
Is one of the only 2 characters that is, I mean, if I'm looking at it more of because he looks a lot like Balloon Boy. The Mangle and the Nightmare Balloon Boy are in both the FNAF 4 and the FNAF World teasers.
I'm trying to think here because like I'm looking at like Ball Boy, and yeah, he only has like 3 balls, so there wouldn't be anything with like that. He looks exactly like Balloon Boy, almost to a T as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely meant to look the exact same. Not
Yeah.
exact, but...
Oh no, that one's weird. That one's really weird.
Yeah.
FNAF Ball Boy. Is his colors different than Balloon Boy's?
No, they're blue and
They're
red.
like...
They look
they are
purple,
slightly different because Ball Boy is purple, not blue.
which is Nightmare Balloon Boy's colors.
They are Nightmare Balloon Boy's colors.
What does
It's the
Brow
same-
Boy's colors look like?
Blue and black?
It's like purple
Yeah.
and black.
It's purple and black. Purple, black, and orange instead of red. Like a red nose. And
Yeah.
stupid propeller hat.
I don't know, that one's really weird.
While we're talking about Nightmare Balloon Boy, he is the only character to have 5 fingers in World for some reason. Don't think it's important. It's just something that I noticed.
I'm like 99% sure all Scott did with that model was just make the eyes bigger for normal Nightmare Balloon Boy and call it a day. Because it looks the exact same.
It really does. That's probably why. Well, I'll say that later when we get to that point.
Okay, what do we think of Balloon Boy's loading screen? Nothing?
I hate it.
Okay,
Nothing.
either y'all write down like the character loading screens that we go through and say nothing of importance, or we're just gonna write down the ones that we think have something important and just leave the rest.
We should do the second one.
Alright, so nothing with Balloon Boy. So we're going on.
That's a lot of writing.
It is.
No.
Bonnie's jamming. Nothing. Chica.
Cool.
Let's eat. Nothing.
Cool. Nothing.
Crying child. He's still sad. Still nothing.
So am I.
Amen. And don't want.
What if I said that was
him.
something?
I wouldn't believe you.
What if I said crying child was something?
Yeah, crying child.
I mean,
duh.
Is
Okay, we have Endo 02, not as cute, but more useful, which I always thought was interesting, because Endo 01 is technically, like, used in FNAF 1, then you have Endo 02, which would be before FNAF 1. So, like, they just straight downgraded Endo 02 for some reason.
I think that's kind of supposed to be explained in the week before.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to reading the week before yet. I do think that is something we can note down, that, like, the Endo 02 is an earlier model, but better than the Endo 01 model. Like, that's what it would imply. Now remember, not all of these have to be confirmed, it's just details to point out.
Yeah, it also kind of goes back to what Phone Guy says in FNAF 2. Like, they tried retrofitting the original animatronics, but they were too ugly, so they scrapped them. So that kind of blends into that line, like, not as cute but more useful.
Oh.
I don't really think it's like anything, but I could see that being like a slight connection
more useful.
for lines, I guess.
Okay. So we got Endo 02 done. Now you go to Endo Plush. Because character quota, I think that explains it in itself.
Yeah.
Foxy. He's back in order.
He is not broken.
So Adventure
Except for his legs.
Foxy is not out of order. He is back in order. I don't think that's anything,
Interesting.
though. We have Fredbear, where it all started.
Yeah,
I think that one kind of just confirms, like,
yeah,
Fredbear is just the first one. The first Fazbear Entertainment property. Which is like, you know, we already knew that, but...
I would say IP.
Yeah.
Also, chat, I cannot read what you're saying if you are saying anything, because I have my other monitor taken up right now.
Alright, hang on.
So, sorry, chat.
We got people talking about the Mimic Ball.
People are talking... Yeah, we'll get to the Mimic Ball. Freddy is back to basics. Funtime Foxy. It wasn't meant to last. Okay, that one's interesting. That would be a reference to Mangle.
Yes,
Right.
like, I firmly believe this is supposed to be a fixed Mangle.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Especially when you have the hook, and in the FNAF 2 teaser with Foxy and Mangle, you have Mangle with a hook.
Yeah, between the hook and, like, the character, like, the notable character traits that, like, Sister Location Funtime Foxy has, like, they are not the same. Between their actual, like...
Plus, there's the Funtime Foxy Funko figure that takes the same design as that one, but makes it like more obviously a Mangle looking character.
It is him.
But the thing is, should we write this as it? Because this would be directly correlating It's Me to Golden Freddy. Like in the week before, it's like, yeah, they all can do it. But this is flat out only giving it to Golden Freddy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I mean, it is fun. Like, anytime anyone ever talks about, like, It's Me, they're always like, oh, all of them do it. Literally, right there, It's Me, Golden Freddy.
Well, that's the thing. It's like all of them do it, but it's mainly associated with Golden Freddy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, Golden Freddy does it the most.
Yeah, Golden Freddy It's Me mostly associated.
I kind of always took that as, like, Golden Freddy is the most aware out of the MCI spirits, which is like what we see in spin-off media, like the movie and the novels.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at chat real. Who do you think is older, Michael
Chill,
Afton
dog,
or
we're going
Foxy,
through
bro?
all of them.
They're Michael Afton and Foxy, bro, are the same. Get out of here, Mike, victim believer. I know you're kind.
Ooh, I used to believe that theory, but I stopped because it didn't make sense.
I mean, technically, Michael Afton is older because it's just the same character further in the timeline.
There's still Michael. Okay. I'm gonna crash out on stream over Mike victim. So we have Jacobani, not canon, but still here. I don't think we need to say anything there.
Yeah.
He does look like chocolate.
Very important. He looks like chocolate. Put it in the notes.
He's
JJ, because
the
one wasn't enough. Yeah, that's nothing. Mangle, kids can be so cruel. Nothing. Marionette, think outside the box.
I always feel bad for the Mangle one because it looks like the second head is just looking down. I know they're just their attack animations at a certain point, but it just looks like the second head is like, oh.
The second head's like, man, I could have been my own character.
It's like,
I think that's kind of funny because that's literally the personality given in FNAF AR.
Time to go in for another 73-hour shift.
Literally. Okay, so there is one thing I do want to say. Marionette, and hold on, let me go and find Phantom Marionettes. We're going to skip the Phantom Marionettes for a reason. So, Marionettes is think outside the box. Phantom Marionette is put it back in the box. So they're flips of each other.
That's a giant dome.
Dude, Withered Freddy has a giant dome too.
It's also interesting. Phantom Marionette is standing on the ground while the regular Marionette is floating.
Yeah, it's like they're very different opposites of each other.
It's not just their attack animation.
Phantom Marionette lost the floor is lava. That's why he's so burned.
So, like, do we think that's anything in terms of like Marionette and Phantom Marionette? Everything about them in this game is opposites of each other.
It also has teeth, which bothers me so much.
Supposed to like, because in they are right next to each other.
Are they right next to each other in the roster?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which is, mind you, is separate from the other Phantoms.
I do think it is interesting to mark down that they are very much opposites in this game.
It's the classics, the toys, the balloon children, the Phantoms, the Wizards, Shadow Freddy, then Puppet, Phantom Puppet, Golden Freddy.
Interesting.
It is weird.
Can you go back to Phantom Puppet real quick? Why does it have teeth?
Yeah, no, I've wondered that too. I've looked at like the normal Phantom Marionette model 2 from FNAF 3 and it doesn't have teeth. It's really weird.
Puppet did the bite of 87 confirmed. Trust.
Not another character added to it.
I think the only important thing is that Marionette and Phantom. Where is it? Just Phantom Marionette. I was about to say, is one Marionette and Phantom Puppet because I would have tweaked.
No, they're both Marionette.
It's called Marionette on the loading screen, but in the trailer, he called it Puppet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
They are generally used interchangeably, which fair.
Yeah.
We'll think outside the box. Phantom Marionette.
I wonder if this is because he was like
in the box,
already thinking of Nightmarion and that whole naming convention.
Interesting that.
Because that is weird that they are very much so opposites of one another.
Like I'm looking at their movesets right now.
Yeah, look at their movesets. We're gonna continue while you do that.
So, I'm not I have it pulled up right now. Marionette has Prize Ball 2, Mystery
Okay.
Box, and Escape Key. While Phantom Marionette has Jump Scare, Hot Cheese 2, and Mystery Box 2.
Yeah, that doesn't tell us much of anything.
No. Weird that Marionette has Escape Key.
Marionette's just weird in general. Also, Nightmare BB, some things can't be made cute. I think that's just a fact. Nightmare Bonnie, let's get mean.
Jeez.
Nightmare Chica, making you a sandwich. That's just a callback to her going in the FNAF 4 kitchen.
Right.
Nightmare Foxy, out of order since FNAF 1. Now, this is what I find interesting. Out of order since FNAF 1, but it's
Yeah.
Nightmare Foxy.
Yeah. Also,
I
the
think
fact
that's just
that
referring to like the Foxy character in general, honestly.
Adventure Foxy is literally stated to be back in order.
Yeah, but then Nightmare Foxy is out of order since FNAF 1. So you could use that as evidence towards the FNAF 4 gameplay taking place after FNAF 1.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So I think that is one thing to write down as a possibility of evidence you could use for a theory. FNAF 1.
What about it since FNAF 1?
So that is an interesting one. Now we have Nightmare Fredbore. Fredbore. I did it again! That's the second time I've said Fredbore! That's the second time I've ever said Fredbore on camera. Oh my god.
Fredbore.
There's a drawing out there of Fredbore, by the way, that someone made because I said that. It's out there somewhere.
His name is Nightmare Fredbore.
Okay, so he's just
My
getting
son.
down to business. I think that's just him being hungry.
It could also just be, isn't he the one who comes night 5 in FNAF 4?
Yeah, he's like the
that's
most
whenever things
aggressive.
start getting serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be interpreted. Nightmare Afraid, the more the merrier. Yeah, I think that's just a reference to his move, the Frettles.
Frettles. I love the Frettles.
Okay, Nightmare, this one I did find interesting. This is why you wake up. Which, if you're someone who believes that the nightmares are dreams, this is why you wake up.
I mean, his name is also just Nightmare.
Exactly. So
And
it's a double-sided
It goes
coin.
right.
So I still think it's something we should mark down, but also mark down his name is also just Nightmare.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just being devil's
Yeah.
advocate, and I also don't want
Exactly.
to believe that FNAF 4 was always meant to be Dream Theory. Because it's just unsatisfying, in my opinion.
Oh, okay, hang on. Not related to anything we're currently talking about, but I just remembered
Yes.
something. And I'm gonna forget if I don't bring it up now. Crying Child. Adventure Crying Child. It's an attack animation where it flashes into color. Where there's the little white boy with the green shirt and blue pants. Which is not our
Interesting.
standard Crying Child.
Okay, the Phantoms are all just jokes, except for some reason Phantom Marionette.
I mean, that's kind of a joke.
Just taking a stroll.
Mr.
Oh, this is not important, but this is one of the ones that you missed. So, Phantom Mangle has 2 loading screens. One says
Yeah.
because he needed to be weirder, and the other says because she needed to be weirder.
Interesting.
Yeah, the other one-
we already
like-
looked at you.
Oh!
Because the world
Thank
needed...
you.
Okay, this I do want to say because the world needed a plush version. What would be a plush version of Springtrap? So, correlation,
Yeah.
plush trap, Springtrap. Because for some reason people refuse to believe that plush trap and Springtrap are correlated for some reason. So, I'm sorry.
It is. Hang on. Let me look at something.
I think that's what. Yeah.
It is strange.
feel
Like,
like-
it's.
I feel like that the plush trap version could be related to Spring Bonnie though. like just as easily.
Yeah.
Or like it's more of a kind of like a meta joke
Okay,
of
this
how
is
Plus
interesting.
Trap was made after Springtrap.
This loading screen right here is always taken up.
Eat your soul.
No, I will eat your soul.
Because he's the only one that talks like this. Like that has something like this in the game. Where it's just straight menacing.
Yeah.
So there's something there, but like what? Because what I also find interesting is that Shadow Freddy doesn't even like crash your game.
It's just
It is
silly text for the sake of being silly, like most of these are.
Yeah. It's just if there is something we should write down, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this also the first appearance of Spring Bonnie?
Well, technically in FNAF 3. Because in Stage 01 in FNAF 3, and then you have Spring Bonnie and FNAF 4 mini games.
Uh-oh. Sorry, I'm looking over at your stream, and I'm a little... Okay, never mind.
The first time we've had a model.
Yeah, it's the first time we've had a model. Yeah.
Your stream was just buffering. I was scared for you.
My eye.
Yeah, that's a reference to I-beam.
No eyes.
Withered Foxy. Still Foxy, but more Yarg.
Yarg.
Yeah, look at this dome Freddy's got, dude. Okay, so we have a couple more to go through. We're almost done with this section, I promise. Oh, please let me open this in Google Chrome. It's not gonna let me. Okay,
oh, no.
You know what? Whatever. We're just gonna read them out to stream for the sake of it. Virtua Freddy, blink and you'll miss him. Nothing. Who's next?
Well, no, that one's weird because that's the only loading's playable character.
True. Nightmare is just I'm taller in person, and Jaco Chica's feeling empty inside. Okay, I think the only important one there is Virtua Freddy because he's the only character that isn't a playable character with one.
And I think there's only 2 characters who don't get loading screens, and I think it's Scott and the coffee machine. No, Chipper as well. So the 3 characters who aren't from FNAF.
Well, the coffee pot's not from FNAF either.
Screens.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, Fredbear dialogue.
All right.
FNAF. Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like Fredbear is not going to have a lot, but the Glitch Bear is going to mainly contain our lore.
You know, I've spent so much time looking at Glitch Bear's dialogue.
Wait a minute. Does the duality of Fredbear and
Kinda.
I don't really see how it would, honestly.
Well, you have 2 different sides of Fredbear. You have Fredbear and then Glitch Bear.
Yeah, but like, how would that correlate to Golden?
You would have the oblivious one, which would be Crying Child, and you'd have the angry aware one being Glitch Bear. Vengeful Spirit, Crying Child.
Narrow's got the brain waves.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I was thinking of Virtua Freddy. I don't know why.
Oh my god.
My brain was still on Virtua Freddy. I don't know why.
I think we need to start So do we do popcorn here, or are you guys gonna make me force me to read all these?
Can I make this bigger? So at least, okay, I can't read.
Except for you, Charlie, because you have a sore throat. You're being out of this.
No. I'll volunteer.
I'll read some later on in the Fredbear voice.
You know what? I'm not reading the first one because
All right, I got it. Pulled up.
Oh wait, I just realized something. So it does say something bad must have happened on the flip side. So whatever happened, it was in the flip side that went wrong. But we never see what went wrong in the flip side. We can just go further down. We don't see what went wrong.
The best there is
it
like
depends.
Old man consequences.
It depends on what you think. It depends on what you think the flip side is.
I'm gonna have to stop sharing my screen in here.
Right. It kind of depends on what you think the flip side is, because Old Man Consequences is in the subtunnels, and so I don't think that's the flip side. I always took it as the flip side is the normal world of FNAF, like the regular games, the regular game world, and it's kind of like FNAF World and the regular games are the flip side of each other.
There's one thing I do want to say.
It could also be like... Oh, sorry, you go.
With the flip side, I've always noticed this. So, like, you have, like, the main world, right? So you're playing as, like, a brown bear, brown, tree bark, all that stuff, right? What's the opposite color of brown? It would be blue. First sub-level's blue. Then you go down another one. It's like it's white and black, and then the third sub-level is black and white. So then you go down another, you have red, and then you would have, if there was another one, it would be green. So they always, every 2 levels, they are flips of each other in terms of color scheme.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Anyway, I'm gonna read this now. I know you may feel like going out and taking a stroll, but something seems very wrong today. All is not well in animatronica. Animatronic Village? Village Tronica? We're working on it. The point is that something is horribly wrong. There have been a lot of bizarre creatures roaming around lately, even some that look like us.
Why'd you do it so loudly?
That was really good.
We aren't prepared to deal with situations like this. Something bad must have happened on the flip side. Go see what you can find. Be careful though, our wood-cutting auto chipper has gone haywire. It's been jump scaring me all day.
Okay, so I think we should write down that, like, whatever is causing things to mess up, it's the something that happened on the flip side that caused it. So
yeah,
that kind of does sound like it's whatever happened in the real world, because they Fredbear specifically calls where they're at animatronica, animatronic village, Villagetronica. So like they're 2 distinct different areas. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you mean like the real world as in meta real world, our real world, or like FNAF?
Like
real
like
world?
the FNAF real world, like where Mike is, doing his stuff in FNAF 3.
Yeah. I feel like whatever bad could
we're gonna get to Yellow Eyes eventually, Smiley.
Yellow Eyes.
Yeah. I'll talk about like this more with Yellow Eyes, but I feel like whatever happened, because of part of what Yellow Eyes says, is either referring to the missing children's incident or, probably the missing children's incident or something like that.
Yeah, because obviously it was like a tragedy that happened. It's just I wonder how it affects who we're playing as.
And it says, okay, so I'm gonna go on for a small tangent, and I know this is kind of jumping around a little bit, but Yellow Eyes does say, "I won't let the same happen to you," and that's during like the Yellow Eyes place. So I think there's probably like 3 characters going on. Technically, there's Yellow Eyes, there's whoever's Yellow Eyes talking about, and then there is the character created that goes around during the course of FNAF World, who was like artificially made, because the whole dialogue of "you were made for one thing." And so I feel like whatever happened, it was probably the missing children's incident, and Yellow Eyes saying, "I won't let the same happen to you," is talking to the crying child, saying,
"Wait,
like the same thing isn't going to happen to the crying child."
Well, in the next line of text, Fredbear does say that a clue is the glitching to enter the sub-levels.
Yeah.
So those glitches are a direct correlation to whatever happened. And how many would there be? There'd be 5, wouldn't there?
Yeah, let me.
Because you start in zone 1 and then zone 2. There isn't one for zone 3. Zone 3 to 4. Zone 4 to 5. 5 to 6. And then 6 to get over to Pork Patch. And that's when you get all the keys and go fight security. And there's 4 locks. So yeah, there'd be 5 glitches, 5 sub levels. Or not 5 sub levels, the 5 glitchy things.
Is each glitch supposed to be a kid?
Possibly.
It could be.
Hang on. There's only 4.
Well, no, there'd be 5 because there's 1 to 2. So there's 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, and then 6 to Pork Patch. That's 5.
Yeah, I'm looking at both the wiki. There's only 4.
No, I know there's 6 because of Pork Patch. I just played FNAF World Refresh. There's 5. Because to get the Pork Patch, you have to exit out of the weird carnival tunnel thing, go talk to Fredbear, walk into a rock, and then that's when you enter that to get over to Pork Patch, press the button, fight Pork Patch, get the key.
Hang on.
There's 5. Because to get to zone 2, there's the tree. You can just walk into zone 3. To get to zone 4, you have to walk into a rock to get, and then you get to zone 4. Get from zone 4 to zone 5, you have to walk into a dead tree. To get from zone 5 to zone 6, you have to walk into a tombstone. And to get from zone 6 to Pork Patch, you have to walk into a rock.
That sounds right.
Guys.
And the weird thing is, only one of them is off of like a beaten path. All of them are like on the side of like a path you can walk past, whereas one of them you literally have to walk through a false wall to get to. No, you don't have to, Ernesto. We're just investigating, having fun. So there's 5. You need to collect the pearl 5 times to get it. There's references of 5.
Do you want me to read the next paragraph?
Yeah, whoever wants to read, go next.
Yeah, I can read. I think I found a clue as to what is happening. Look behind me. There's a tree that is distorted and glitched. You don't know as much as I do, but I will tell you that this is a safe haven, a sanctuary. Whatever has gone wrong, we will have to fix it. It will be an adventure. Something horrible must have happened on the flip side because it's causing this world to fracture. Objects like the tree behind me have broken, but I think you can use these fractures to get to places you couldn't reach before. You have to go and find the source of these fractures.
I just had an idea as to what this game's about.
What?
5 fractures, get the pearl 5 times, MCI related. Our whole goal is to set up Happiest Day. If Cassidy's the Happiest Day receiver, we're trying to help free the MCI.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the game.
Yeah. I mean, that's been a theory for a while, yeah.
Yeah, and this will just prove it even more because of the constant 5s. Yeah, there's 5 clocks.
Yeah, and each clock represents a mini game we see in
FNAF
3.
So there's 5, so 5, 5, and 5. That's 3 cases of 5 again.
Lots of 5s.
So if that's the case, this game would have been Scott trying to tell us that, hey, this is meant for the MCI, not Crying Child. And it was always Cassidy, who was the receiver.
I feel like it's kind of both, honestly, because there are very obvious, connections to both the MCI and the FNAF 4 Crying Child, especially with the intro and ending cutscenes with yellow eyes, like repeating stuff from FNAF 4.
At the end of the clock ending, where you're saying up happiest day, at the end of it, don't you also get the like your happiest day kind of deal? Like that?
No, that's the Red Lake one.
That's the
Red Lake ending.
Okay.
Yeah, you just get the end after the eyes thing.
So then, yeah, if we set up happiest day, then who we play as, if it's Crying Child doesn't move on.
Although, well, there is still like the happiest day ending for Old Man Consequences, which, considering Old Man Consequences is in UCN and has made returns, I do feel like that ending can still be canon. And that's probably that's what I think the Crying Child's happiest day is. Like, I think that's his moving on point.
I think so too. I do definitely think at this point I'm pretty confident on FNAF World and Cassidy being the receiver and it all being happiest day related. I'm pretty confident on that after thinking about all the 5s there is. So I think out of this, all we have to do is, just the glitches are a clue to the problem.
Yeah, I also wanted to mention that the trophy you get after the clock ending, it's of the Crying Child model in FNAF World, the FNAF World's Crying Child model. Yeah, but it doesn't have any tears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty interesting.
Oh boy, there's gonna be a lot of topics coming out of this, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna be here for a while. Who's here ready for an all-nighter?
All-nighter, baby.
I might need another Pepsi, but I'm good.
I need another Pepsi, but we're good. Oh boy. Okay. I'll read the next one. Great. Be sure to press that button behind you to clear the path for later. That way you won't have to take the long way again. I think that a lot of these monsters are misguided side effects of whatever has happened on the flip side. It looks like you can knock some sense into them and they'll join you. How wonderfully convenient. You need to find another subtunnel under the game, and it's probably hidden inside another glitched object. Ahead are the dusting fields. You'll probably find the next glitched object there. Be careful, things only get more dangerous from here. So basically the monsters are the characters we get.
Oh, also, something I didn't say I wanted to, though. It is, Adventure Fredbear during the last paragraph.
Well, if it's the last thing he says, we'll get to it eventually.
No, I will tell you that this is a safe haven, a sanctuary, which is basically what Yellow Eyes says.
Yeah. So, in this case,
there's also the line of Fredbear saying, "You don't know as much as I do." So, there's that.
The one thing I'm trying to wonder. Is like Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Mangle characters that are supposed to be there, and then all the other characters we get are not? Or like, is it just Freddy that's supposed to be there, and his team is not supposed to be there?
Like, that is a question I've had. I'm like, is the roster canon? Right.
Because he says like these monsters are misguided side effects, and if you knock sense into them, they'll join you. So those are the characters we get.
Yeah. So I do think it's Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy that are supposed to be there, and everyone else is. Well,
what about the toys that we have?
Everyone
from the
else
too?
Is. Looks at the tiny toy Chica that's missing her beak. Looks at the tiny toy Chica missing her beak.
There's no toy Chica missing her beak in FNAF World.
there is in FNAF 4.
Yeah, but we're talking about FNAF World.
Yeah, dingus.
Yeah. But it's the same thing. I mean, no, it still blends into each other. I'm just trying to say, like, it's another connection. Like, FNAF World, a game with a bunch of connections to FNAF 4, that's just, like, another big connection on top of it, you know?
I don't know. It's weird because we have characters from the get-go. So how do we... So if the toys weren't supposed to be there from the... Like, supposed to be there, how do we already have them then?
Shatter victim stuff, perhaps? Memory victim stuff, perhaps?
Yeah, but that's going into theory. I think it's just safer to say that every other character that we don't have from the start is not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So every character that we don't have from the start shouldn't be in this world. It's also weird that you can knock sense into them and then it's fine, like they can be here. Like, yeah, just go beat them up and it'll be fine.
Yeah, because it specifically says misguided.
Yeah, they're misguided.
And each of the monster monster groups are found specifically in those areas. So I'm wondering if the safe haven that Fredbear is referring to is specifically that area that we first start in, and then all the surrounding areas are being more affected than the safe haven area, which then means that all the quote-unquote monsters are getting misguided, and then whenever we beat some sense into them, they're like, oh wait, sorry, silly me.
So then, yeah, in that case, they should be there. It's just a fact of...
Okay.
They should be here. It's just something's influencing it. So that means that whatever's happening... Would that mean every character from FNAF 1 through 4 is in some way misguided and they don't know the full story?
I feel like what it
might
mean... I feel like what it might mean is, like, they're not really being guided by anything. It's just... they're angry. They're like similar to similar to the main character where the glitch bear says you are made for one thing. I kind of think it's a similar thing where the other characters, the characters we're able to collect throughout the game, were made as a side effect of what happened on the flip side, and we're able to, like, turn them over to us almost. We're able to, like, obtain them just by defeating them. Mm-hmm. I don't really think there would be any, like, they're actually misguided or something. I feel like that's just text to say, like, oh yeah, they're evil, but they can be, or like currently they're evil, but they can be turned over to... I almost
wonder if it's something where it's like the Halloween update. You're not meant to get them, but here they are.
Kinda, yeah. I just feel like the whole, like, taking the word misguided literally, I feel like it doesn't really have any
that's true,
like,
Clavis.
weight to it relating to the relating to the story.
So Clavis just said, if this game is connected to FNAF 4, it makes sense that our starter pack is the toys and classics are our starter pack, since they both appear as toys and plushies in the FNAF 4 minigames.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. That's why I brought up the tiny toy Chica missing her beak.
Interesting then that Yellow Eyes reiterates the whole we are still your friends. Do you believe that?
I do want to say the Yellow Eyes does happen in a void. I've always wondered, like, dude, what if we're just Cried Child looking directly at Plush Bear during that?
It could be. I definitely think it is that. I really think that the void scenes are between Glitch Bear and Crying Child, where Glitch Glitch Bear / Plush Bear to the Crying Child, and then the rest of the game is weird entity homunculus thing that is made for the purpose of doing stuff in this world, and then the ending is back to the Crying Child and Plush Bear, and then like the clocks and the Happiest Day ending we get in FNAF World are kind of like us seeing the effects of everything, I guess.
Real quick,
okay, so I was just reading through them because I don't think we need to read through all of them. Like one by one. He does say you are getting close to the core of the game. So he does refer to this as a game.
Who does?
Yeah.
Fredbear.
Fredbear.
Yeah, it's looks like trouble up ahead, but you should be used to that by now. They say that there is a secret funhouse hidden here in the circus. It must be inside one of the tents. I have to warn you, I've seen 2 giant animatronics roaming the fairgrounds. A giant bear and a giant pig. They look like abominations to me. Also, the funhouse is full of walls and secret doors. Don't get lost. You're getting close to the core of the game. That is where the problem is.
I'm fully convinced that whatever the hell FNAF World is, whoever Adventure Fredbear is supposed to present, it is a creation of him.
The thing is, wouldn't the core of the game then be Anim Dude?
Yeah. Or
kinda.
Whoever the puppet master is.
And that would be Anim Dude, because he's a puppet master.
Yeah.
Oh god, so don't tell me that Scott was trying to say that he was the problem with the lore, Scott, please.
I do think that or I'll try to say this in an easier way. So I was on a I helped somebody named Camgood on a video discussing FNAF World a few weeks ago, and we kind of discussed what FNAF World might be, like what the actual story is. And we kind of came to the conclusion that it does present both a canon narrative and then a non-canon meta-narrative. And the way it's presented is kind of why Scott regrets making FNAF World, not because of the normal story, but because of all the meta elements that tied into it. So I do think out of like what the actual story is, I do think it's kind of what we've been discussing before now, like weird thingy is being made to set up the Happiest Day for the Crying Child, and then the FNAF 3 Happiest Day for the MCI children, yada yada yada, all of that stuff. And then the weird, more meta, this is a game and Scott Cawthon is who you need to defeat. All of that stuff is more like non-canon. I don't even know how to describe it. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, gamey wamey stuff. It's just like it's like, I don't even know how to describe it. I just think it's like we're being shown representations. Like everything kind of represents something, but nothing really directly happens in the actual lore of FNAF, because it's like we're directly shown that this is supposed to be a separate world from the normal FNAF universe. You know, this is a separate world, it's a separate reality. It's the flip side of whatever is on the normal world. Yeah. So, like, whatever this is, I don't think it's a real game in universe. I mean, it could be, maybe, some weird like, agony shenanigans. But at the same time, I feel like it definitely could just be everything's kind of this weird representation. I don't know about meta-narrative, because, like, again, because it does represent it does offer a lot of like in-universe explanations to certain things, but I just feel like a lot of it is just solely representations.
So since we're on the topic of Scott, something I find interesting is that you can only fight Scott if you play on hard mode.
Yeah.
If you choose like, the easy way, you do not get to fight Scott, and he laughs at you.
I was gonna say, doesn't the text make fun of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, okay, really weird thing. Really weird text, but since we're bringing that up, I'm pretty sure it's the normal mode. If you try and fight Scott on the normal mode, it might be the hard mode. I don't know. Either way, one of Scott's lines, or one of Andom Dude's lines, is "Congratulations, you beat a fictional boss in a fictional game." And I'm kind of just like, what do you mean fictional game? I'll look up what the actual line is, but...
Yeah, I know what you're talking. That's when you fight him and you defeat him.
Okay.
Okay, so there is one thing. So with the Halloween update, which we know that like the Halloween update for this game just is not canon, right? Or is it?
Yeah, I mean, the description of Jack of Bunny is literally not canon, but still here.
So one of the things it says is the problem is that now
World.
he has gone insane. We don't know what he is making, and we can't reach the room where it is being kept. Whatever it is everyone around here on edge. So so who is he that has gone insane?
AKA another representation of Scott.
Because then in that case,
but doesn't the room that he's referring to, isn't that the like
where Purple
the
Geist
toxic
is?
cake?
Yeah, that's like where
Yeah.
Purple Geist is. That then gets absolutely wrecked by Chica's Magic Rainbow.
Chica's Magic Rainbow, let's go!
So do we think
go.
the creation was Chica's Magic Rainbow, or do we think it was Purple Geist?
Probably.
Where are we talking?
Probably Purple
Are we
Geist.
talking about Deskman or?
Well, Andom, dude, because if... because do we think that Deskman is the guy who, this guy is the guy who made Purple Geist? I mean, he is the last thing you see, and he does congratulate you, like he's the final boss.
Perhaps.
And then he warns you about Circus Baby.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's the desk guy, and Fredbear is referring to Circus Baby as the thing that he's making, that would kind of make sense. I guess it could also be the Purple Geist.
Well, what if the Purple Geist was just put there, but Circus Baby's the creation?
What do you mean?
Basically, Purple Geist is to prevent anyone from getting to him. And Circus Baby's a creation they're talking about.
The guard dog.
Yeah, Purple Geist is like the guard dog, and because like that's a pixel creation. I mean, technically the Purple Geist is a character that's been in FNAF World since its very early stages, but was just removed. And this whole entire Halloween update is basically just characters that were removed. Their code's just floating in there.
Yeah.
So then, if that's the case, his creation, his unique creation, would be Circus Baby then.
Yeah. I think. I'm kind of lost, honestly.
Dude, FNAF World is just something else, dude.
Like, anytime you think about FNAF World, you just get 18 consecutive aneurysms in a row.
Is it just me?
Best case scenario.
Is it just me, or is it?
No,
anytime
I
you
just
think
don't
of
remember a
Purple
lot of
Geist-
the dialogue from. Oh.
Sorry, I was just thinking. Is it whenever you look at Purple Geist, you kind of think of the like glitched thing at the end of Princess Quest?
I have thought of that sometimes.
Which like then leads me to think, oh, was this like the first iteration of the Mimic? Which is probably not good thinking. I need to get out of my own head.
Yeah, I feel like it's just. I feel like it's just normal Scott pixel style stuff. Honestly,
I almost feel like the only thing that's canon from the Halloween update is that final cutscene and just Fredbear's speech to you in the beginning. I feel like everything else wouldn't be at that point.
Okay, so
what's Fredbear's
Purple Geist and the guy at the end of Princess 1 are like nothing alike.
Oh yeah, they're nothing alike. It's just more so the fact that they're both very like mutated versions.
They both give off vibes.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest though, I do not remember a lot of dialogue from the Halloween update.
I mean, there isn't really much. And all of it is basically the character's just like, oh yeah, go in there, do this thing, and I'll join your party. And help you get to Deskman.
You're not talking about update 2, right?
No, right now we're talking about update 2.
Oh.
That's what the Halloween update is.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the Halloween edition.
Yeah, that's update 2.
That is Halloween update. Oh my god. Get over this guy. Chat, no.
Wait, no, it's not. There's no, because there's the Troll Halloween edition. There's the Troll Halloween edition, and then there's update 2.
Update 2 is Halloween.
Yeah. I think he's right because I'm looking at a FNAF World wiki, and there's 2 versions of Purple Geist. One of them is labeled Halloween, and the other one's labeled Update 2.
Why the hell would we be talking about a troll game?
I don't know. That's why I was confused because you kept saying Halloween. You kept saying Halloween edition, and I'm like, "What do you mean?"
It's literally called the Halloween update. It's called the Halloween update.
And it's better known as Update 2, though. Look. This is what I thought you were talking about.
Guys, we're having to crash out. Fight.
Me when I lie. I've referred to the Halloween update all the time.
I've only heard the update 2 be referred to as update 2.
You went in bad circles.
No, I don't.
Who's the most iconic human character
when was
in FNAF,
update
Purple
2
Guy
even
or
released?
Michael Afton? I don't remember off the top of my head.
When was FNAF World Update 2 released?
May 13th.
Why would it be called the Halloween edition?
Because it's
Why would it be called the Halloween edition if it wasn't released on
Halloween backstage?
That's not the Halloween edition. That's an entirely separate thing. That's an entirely separate thing. You're gonna look at me and tell me I'm wrong.
Fight. We encourage crash outs here at Raven Incorporated.
You don't get a scrungle. You're not one of us.
Already made the scrungle. You already made it.
Us. No, it's good. It's good. You don't get it anymore. Fuck you.
It's lurking. It's lurking, and it'll weigh on your conscience.
Nope.
That's why I was so confused, though, because you kept mentioning Halloween edition, and I'm like, what do you mean the Halloween edition? Are you talking about update 2?
Halloween update. I've been saying the Halloween update, not the edition.
Hello, Withered Body Gaming. These 2 people are currently having a crash out over an update version.
Oh my god.
That doesn't make sense! Because it's not called the Halloween update. There's the Halloween edition and there's update 2.
We're continuing.
Those are 2 separate things.
Can I bring up one last thing about the last
update? It's only because update 2.
One last thing on that last paragraph that we read. How it says we're getting close to the game's core. The first thought that I thought of, and it's probably because you just had a stream last week about FNAF 4, one of the quotes in the trailer is, "What game do you think you're playing?" And I kept thinking that over in my head, And if we're thinking in the FNAF universe, what game is the kid supposed to be playing? I can't think of anything. That was the only thing that I wanted to bring up. Obviously, it's probably referring to us playing FNAF 4, but
yeah,
I think it just means like the activities the animatronics are doing is a game to them. I don't think it means like meta narrative. This is a fictional game type thing. I think it means game as in to whatever antagonistic force there is. It is like whatever is going on is a game to them.
Okay.
Rather than like actual
I'm not talking to him anymore.
Video game. The description of FNAF World says update 2.
Someone just crashed out.
Something?
It says update 2. It's never been referred to as the Halloween update.
I refer to it as the Halloween update.
Shut up.
Come on, what do you call it?
I call it the Halloween update.
I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna crash out.
Your profile picture is so perfect for this too.
I'm gonna crash out. I don't believe any of you.
Listen, I just played through FNAF World for the first time last weekend, so
Cosmic, do you want a hug after this?
It's only been referred to as update 2.
You know what? After this, I'm going in the FNAF 2 Sanctuary server. I'm asking everyone what they call that update.
I'll do it myself.
Go do it right now, and then at the end of the stream, we will literally list off the amount of people who said what, and then whoever wins, we go with that for the rest of our lives. Deal?
Create a poll.
Sure.
What do you call it?
I will tell you.
Oh, don't worry, Crash. I already saw what your comment said above. I agree with you. It's just funny watching these two crash out. Okay.
Are we moving on to
Plush Bear?
The next? Yeah, the other one.
Yeah, I already kind of started a little bit while they were crashing out. So obviously we need to leave breadcrumbs for him to help him find his way. So whoever we're helping is not here. And whoever we are helping is the one doing the mini games to help the children.
Yeah.
It
could be that.
Update here. FNAF World Halloween update. Host.
I'm gonna crash out. Out. Raven, hold me back. Hold me back, Raven.
Nah, I'll let this one happen. I'll let you get a couple. So yeah, another thing.
Put it in the FNAF general.
Okay. So wait a minute. So then by this was Plush Bear. So it said do the roar at Cosmic VRVA.
Do the roar.
Do the roar. Do the roar.
So yeah, the whole game is a story because he says if you keep following him, you will only finish a story. So technically, these characters are supposed to be here. In that case. So Plush Bear is just flat out contradicting the base of the story with that line alone. Everything Fredbear tells us is a story.
Yeah.
And thus, finishing the story would be beating Scott Cawthon or Anim Dude.
That kind of fits his vibe, I feel like. Fredbear's just like, oh, well, you gotta go do this. Like, he's like the entertainer who's like, yes, you gotta go on this very set
Ernesto,
path.
what do you put on your pizza? If you don't say mayonnaise, you're not goated.
Now you're gonna make me crash out.
What?
Listen, I come from a place where putting fries on salad is normal, and mayonnaise on pizza just sounds
mayonnaise on pizza is delicious.
You
get some Hellman's mayonnaise and spread it on a slice, man. Life changing.
That's it. I'm leaving.
Crash out.
Is there anything else that he says flat out that's just like, okay, this is something?
Oh my god, I've accidentally full screened Discord, but it's not like F11 full screened. I don't know. Go away.
Oh, Charlie.
What have I done? How do I do this? Oh.
Okay.
You're being led through hoops. You're being pulled on strings. He says a lot of very similar things about you are being guided to something that is not real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost in every message he says something like that.
God, do I really want to have to write all that down? Or copy and paste all of that?
You could probably just say
it's
copy and paste one and just say he says very similar miscellaneous things.
You know what? Since we kind of did that, I'll just do this. Plush Bear says very similar things in all of his appearances throughout the game. Because I'm too lazy to do that. I'm sorry.
After reading these, I have a problem that I'm bringing up to Scott. Why does Scott not put the line of being pulled on strings in the same paragraph that he's talking about a puppet? He puts the hoop one with the puppet. Sorry. I just noticed it. And it's...
What's the, Shoot, I lost it.
Sorry.
Hang on.
Of course, Draz would vote update 2. Number 1 op.
Number 1 op.
The one thing he's been right about. Sorry.
Nah.
Sorry.
Dude, I'm sorry. Wait, Draz just caught a good stray from Cosmic.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. That was right about. For. Dude, they're straight up catching a stray.
That was uncalled for. I'm sorry. That was just a joke. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
I was based as always. Oh,
I'm joking.
Okay, there is something interesting. So, at the end, something terrible is coming was only added after Update 2 came out.
Oh.
In reference to baby? Question mark?
That's what I'm thinking it would have to be.
Or Eleanor.
Probably, yeah.
Because she's very powerful.
I will say that this line was added
and is very powerful.
This line was added when Update 2 was made. Because that is something to note. Something terrible is coming. And then what do you get to deal with afterwards? So, thus, would the thing that he's trying to guide you towards be that? Would be the circus baby?
Alright, could you repeat that?
So, if his whole goal is to get you on the right path, and the last thing he says, something terrible is coming, and that something terrible is circus baby. What is his whole goal just to get you to circus baby kind of deal?
I don't think so. Because isn't one of his lines like, if you insist on going this path that is being forced upon you?
You got that almost word for word. It's if you insist on following this path that is being forcefully placed before you. That's crazy.
Yeah. Like,
that is literally the line right before that something terrible is coming.
Yeah, so it seems like the something terrible is coming is only happening because we as the player are choosing to go on that path rather than completing what the
if
rather
it's
than completing
day,
the
then
finding the clock stuff.
If we do the happiest day thing, what is the something terrible that's coming in that case?
Still baby. Because like regardless, that baby still happens.
Desk Guy says that too, does he? We'll look at that in a little bit. We're gonna move to Yellow Eyes before we get to Desk Guy.
It's the afterlife.
And I was gonna say something, but I forgot what it was.
Huh?
Oh, the breadcrumbs thing. The breadcrumbs thing. I think the breadcrumbs thing is possibly referring to I mean, assuming the breadcrumbs is like the clocks and stuff and setting up the mini games, I'm assuming the breadcrumbs is referring to the puppet spirit, which I know it says like you need to leave breadcrumbs for him, but at the same time, we don't really know when the puppet spirit was changed to be Charlie. So I think that could be possible, because, you know, there's the whole save him thing in FNAF 2. And that's still Charlie, so...
You know what I'm thinking?
It could be that. Maybe, but I don't know.
I've always wanted to say is, why do people not think Yellow Eyes is Circus Baby? Because, like, at the end of Update 2, Circus Baby appears with those two same yellow eyes.
Because they're more rounded. They have more pixels to them.
Do they?
Yeah.
More pixels.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, why don't people think that? Well, then in that case, I mean, what does Yellow Eyes say in the beginning of the game? I don't remember. Because I have what he says at the end here.
Hang on, I'll get it up. It's just FNAF 4 reference, honestly.
Well, then there's the pieces aren't in place for you, and that all the player has to do is find them. It then tells the player to rest before disappearing.
Yeah, I got it. It is.
It's everything that happens out there has an effect here. Do you understand that? This is a safe place, a sanctuary. Something is very wrong. That's why I'm here. Something went very wrong. That's why I'm here. But I will not let the same happen to you. I will put you back together.
Okay, so there's a lot there that we need to mark down. So, since you guys have it pulled up, do you want to write the notes down?
I'm just looking at a video. I don't feel like writing anything.
Cosmic.
I don't want to do anything.
Lazy.
Also, Update 2 is winning. Update 2 is winning.
Is it?
I do not care.
Alright, you DM me the Steam description on Discord.
You're the one who made the poll!
Okay, what is it?
Yeah.
So... Do we ever know who the person pulling the strings behind the scenes is? Do we ever figure that out?
No, it's not like fully
I almost want to say it's desk guy.
I don't think it is.
I feel like it's the desk dude.
Yeah.
I
was
think
just
it's
gonna say
Yellow
Scott,
Eyes.
question mark.
Well, if you think about it, the way to get into desk dude's area is by walking into a house for a little bit and then just teleporting in. Kind of like with the glitch spots where you walk into them and then you just like no longer have collision. So, by proxy, he shouldn't be there, but he is. And he's making things that's affecting the world. I don't know, what do we think?
Sorry, could you repeat that again?
Like, so you know how to get in the desk man's like room for the first time, not by being like Chica's Magic Rain, but just walking in there, right? You have to walk into that house for a couple seconds and then you just smash in there.
Yeah.
The only other items in the game that work like that, where you kind of have to just walk into them for a couple seconds and then something happens, is those like glitch spots where you have no collision. Yeah, in the tent. Like, wouldn't that say that those aren't supposed to be there in that case?
I feel like it matters about context, because it could really just be interpreted as like, oh yeah, they're going through a door.
Homie's taking a minute to walk through a door.
I mean,
you gotta knock on the door, you gotta open the door, you gotta close the door.
So do we think that just like desk man just like kicks in the door and then just runs back and is all like
I mean, that's why he slept over the desk. He's tired.
I'm typing it right now, Raven. What are you doing?
I'm adding the context, you idiot. Pay attention to the notes, Charlie. This I feel like we can get rid of. Who's a player? Andrew Tripp says he is the puppet master. Yeah, but can we even trust him? Can we?
I mean, like, why wouldn't you?
Because we can't trust anything in this game.
I feel like just purposefully not trusting something in a game is just a recipe for not understanding absolutely anything.
Well, I know, but like this whole entire game seems like everything that's supposed to happen is fake, and everything that's not supposed to happen is real.
I don't know about that. I feel like, you know, if a character directly says they're the puppet master, that probably means they're the puppet master.
Unless they only think they're the puppet master. And the true puppet master is pulling
nothing else
more
is...
strings.
Nothing else is hinting at being the puppet master, so I don't really know what else would be the puppet master. If the guy who says is the puppet master isn't the puppet master.
If update 2 is the desk man being kind of the puppet master creating something horrible.
Yeah. There's a different puppet master.
So they
but also, I think that's Scott, too. I think that's just a different representation of Scott. Similar to Anim Dude, but different-y, kind of.
Oh, God, dude, I hate FNAF World and how meta it is, dude. I hate how meta it is.
I think that's why Scott also hates FNAF World, is because he made it too meta. And he's like, God, I put too much story into this, but it's hard to sit through.
Rotten game!
Rotten meta game. I hate my rotten meta game.
God, dude. Scott, please make a FNAF World 2 and just make it FNAF World 1, just not so freaking meta, please.
No. Put the exact same amount of meta stuff, but make that an entire branching path that none of the meta stuff touches. Or none of the meta stuff touches anything else. That way you can still have your funny haha meta branch, and then everything else is more serious to the FNAF lore.
God, dude. Scott! Dude, the next time Scott appears in my chat, I'm yelling at him. Next time I'm in a stream where Scott appears, I'm yelling at him. Just for FNAF World.
Scott appeared in your chat?
He appeared in TDs when I was on stream with him once.
I thought you meant the fake Scott that showed up last week.
Oh yeah, there's that one too. Yeah, there was a fake Scott that showed up in mine. I don't think Chipper's Revenge is going to have any dialogue because he's basically just meta the character, but...
Yeah.
Bro, imagine if there is lore, though, and that's why El Chip is now in security
Dude,
breach.
I've always wondered that.
Because I think his ending dialogue is something like, I will come back. Like the classic, I always come back FNAF line. And then, like, what is it, 2 games later, 3 games, a couple games later, he actually does show up as an actual character.
Yeah, no, he has nothing. It's literally him just being like, bro, it should have been me to be the victor of life.
It should have been me, not him. Okay, buddy.
Okay, Deskman dialogue, here we go.
Let's go!
I'm not having a good time with FNAF. I thought this was gonna be a fun stream. I hate this game. I used to love the
crashing out was
gameplay.
fun.
Oh yeah, the crashing out was great content.
Crashing out is fun. Also, the update 2 is still winning the poll. Update 2 is still winning the poll, by the way.
Okay.
Wait, this is also proof it wasn't supposed to be like this. Now it's all a mess. Wouldn't that imply he created everything? And it wasn't supposed to turn out the way it has?
Yeah.
So that's when that make him the puppet master of everything?
I think... Okay, do you want me to get into, like, really weird meta shit? Do you want me to get into some really weird meta stuff?
Well, considering we're literally playing meta the game, yes.
Yeah, meta the game. Okay, so... FNAF World Original. FNAF World Original. Weird meta shenanigans going on. Update 2
This isn't from Update 2,
Guy,
though.
which is another... What do you mean? Desk Guy?
Yeah, if you just walk in there, like, no Update 2 or anything, he says, what are you doing here? I'm busy. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Now it's all a mess. Of course, now there's only one thing to do. Come back later and maybe I will tell you more. And then you wait until Update 2, and then he says it's a vicious cycle, you know? But then most things in life
he was added in Update 2. It's just after you kill the Magic Rainbow is when he gets the other dialogue.
Oh, was he not in the base game?
Yeah.
I swear he was.
No, I don't think he was.
The wiki says as of update 1.2, Deskman has new dialogue.
Yeah.
Is the wiki wrong?
I mean,
well, this wouldn't be the first thing it's wrong.
Yeah, it's a character that appeared after the
there's
game's
only-
official release and Update 2.
There's no way.
Hang on.
No. I absolutely remember this guy being added in Update 2.
Yeah, hang on. When was...
Update 2 wasn't going to happen originally. It's like, why would Scott put that in? Alright, hang on.
Listen, I'm
This
convinced
guy
Scott
was
never
added
wanted
first
to end
to
the
the free
franchise.
edition of FNAF World. So it was the base game, but it was the free edition. So if you got it paid, he wasn't there. But then when Scott released the free version, he added Desk Guy.
Mm.
Okay, so Cosmic. All right, I need you to sit down.
FNAF
All
World
right?
used to cost $10.
Okay, I have the jingle keys right here to keep your attention, okay? So,
Jingle,
Okay.
jingle.
Yeah.
FNAF
Let's
World
look at-
it came out, all right? It costed $10 on
Yes.
Steam, all right? People absolutely hate it, so Scott took it down and then released it on Game Jolt for free.
Yeah.
When it was released on Game Jolt for free is when Deskman was added. So during the time that it was paid for money, okay, jingles,
no,
Deskman was not there.
Works perfectly. No, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, that's still exactly what I'm saying. So, Deskman, weird representation of Scott, like a more realistic Scott, kind of, but still kind of a caricature, because I find it hard to believe Scott would make this, like, weird venti persona in a game where he already, like, has this weird antagonistic thing. Death of the Offer type stuff, yada yada. Anyways, so, I'm, like, considering Deskman was added later on, I feel like the whole stuff about the world being a mess and everything kind of is just like, oh yeah, this is just Scott admitting that the game wasn't supposed to be as messy and as convoluted and as
The problem
meta
is now, though, is with
as it
Update 2
turned
and
out
it
to
now
be.
being a canon game, what would Deskman be then?
Still Scott, but at the same time kind of both leaning into the meta jokey stuff with like all the mini games and defeating the
I think we need a rule:
and
is
defeating the creator of
Deskman
the game
a
stuff.
story character, or is he a character that's actually important then?
Sorry, you cut out for me. What'd you say?
At this point, I think we need a rule: is he just another character like Fredbear or whatever, and is only important in Update 2? Is he not important at all, or is he important at all times?
I think he's important in the meta narrative. Because I do
mean,
think
he'd
it's
have to
another
be important in
representation
Update
of
2.
Scott. Yeah. But I think kind of what Update 2 is, it's kind of making a joke out of the original FNAF world. Like, you have to defeat all of these games and then defeat the creator of the game and all of that. And I think what it's doing, especially with the Circus Baby ending, is it's kind of letting go of FNAF World. Like, that Deskman, that version of Scott, it's kind of like the meta story is like kind of killing off that version of Scott, the version of Scott that made FNAF World, the version of Scott that is making a weird meta narrative, the version of Scott that he admitted himself that when he was making FNAF World, I'm pretty sure he said this in the doco interview, in the first doco interview, when he was making FNAF World, he thought everyone would love it because it was FNAF and everyone would love FNAF. And then he was humbled by the game's release and everyone didn't like it. So I think what Deskman is, it's that previous representation of Scott. It's the Scott that
there is something I do
everything was going to work out just because it's FNAF. And then, him being killed off by Circus Baby is a representation of that version of Scott dying and then going back into normal FNAF games with Sister Location.
There's one thing I want to say. In Update 2, he does say the same line as Glitch Bear with something terrible is coming. He does say that, which there's no way Scott didn't write that and be like, yeah, this is similar.
I think that's kind of the point, maybe.
So, would that possibly connect the two in some way?
I feel like it wouldn't. I think it's just, meta characters being meta.
Oh, God, I hate FNAF World. I'm still writing it down as something of importance to note.
The meta is hurting my brain. But I think I see where you're coming from. With the first set of messages, it sounds like he's talking about, yeah, I messed up the game. And the line of him going, of course, now there is only one thing to do. That's what he normally does with each of his games, and release something afterwards in order to clarify what he was talking about to the best of his ability.
Yeah.
And then the update 1.2 Deskman is then leading into the release of Baby to show that, okay, we're going back to how things were because that stuff works. You guys like that.
Oh yeah. And something terrible that is coming is Baby, because he says something terrible is coming. Her name is Baby. So that should connect at least Glitch Bear knowing about Circus Baby and that Glitch Bear wants to stop Baby.
I don't know about wanting to stop Baby. I think it's just he's aware that Baby exists and that FNAF World is coming to an end.
I just don't see why she's such a threat. Not really,
Yeah, why is she such a threat to the meta world?
Well, it could be because I don't think it's a threat to the meta world. I think it's a threat to FNAF World's existence in that secluded game, because a FNAF World is just essentially being abandoned. So it could be something like that, maybe.
I am going to write that down that there's something terrible is Baby.
Yeah. I don't think... It doesn't seem like Glitch Bear wants to defeat Baby or knows how to, because there's never really any hint of that. Really, the only thing Glitch Bear talks about is Anim Dude / Scott. Heck, it could even... Glitch Bear could even just be referring to Anim Dude when he says something terrible is coming, and then when Deskman says something terrible is coming, that's referring to Baby, but I don't know. Either way, it's attributing that line to Scott in some kind of way, so I don't know.
God, God, man. I didn't think I'd hate this rotten game so much.
Rotten game. I hate my game.
Okay, you know what? We're moving on to OMC because we know he's not meta because he actually exists.
Yay. Oh, I love old man consequences.
Okay, we know he's not meta because he does exist outside, so we know he's real. We know he's real at least.
Yay. Yay.
Hey, so if we're on the topic of things that make everyone mad,
Harley,
are we going to talk about Update 2 versus Halloween Edition again?
No, because I know I'm correct. So you know how Old Man Consequence's whole thing is telling people to rest?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yellow Eyes also tells you to rest at the end of the clock ending.
Yeah.
But that's more of like a rest for something later to come, isn't it?
Yeah.
Rather than Old Man Consequences being like
hand?
rest.
It is at the end of the clock ending. What do you want?
Raise his hand. Raise his hand. Raise his hand.
Yes, Cosmic Star VA.
My silly little interpretation. My little silly interpretation of it is that base game clock route FNAF World, little weird Freddy homunculus is made to find the clocks as Fred. Find the clocks. Find the clocks. There's the key. Is that my voice? So
okay,
little homunculus Freddy. What? Little homunculus Freddy goes and finds the clocks, set up the FNAF 3 happiest day for the MCI children.
Yeah,
then
it's Gerald Robotnik. Hang on.
Wait, no. What OMC offers you if you reach that 4th sub level compared to what Yellow Eyes offers you is completely different.
Cosmic Docs in the VC.
I was doing a Fredbear impression. Where he's like, is that my voice?
You know, Old Man Consequence just says, just fish with me, man. You got nowhere else to go. He doesn't even say, yeah, go rest. He just says, hang out, man.
Yeah, but still, he's kind of like... He still does eventually represent a spirit resting.
Well, yeah, but this is in the context of this game.
Yeah, but I still feel like it's kind of recontextualized in UCN. Plus,
I'm still writing that down because
there is the happiest day ending. There's the happiest day ending after the lake.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't offer it to you.
You have to get that yourself. Yeah, that's like a whole thing. You have to kill yourself to get that.
Exactly. He doesn't offer it to you like he offers the vengeful spirit in UCN.
Yeah.
You know, in UCN, he's like, yeah, go rest your own soul. There's nothing else. Go rest. And here he's like, bro, just hang out with me. You know, go fish with me.
I mean, that kind of sounds like resting for a bit.
Well, wait.
Okay, hang on 1 second.
Let's fish for a while. That kind of sounds like just sit with me, rest for a bit, man.
Yeah, but in terms of what OMC does in later entries, they're different things.
Old Man Consequences literally says that there's no way back out and that you have nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
That is a blatant lie.
Yeah, he flat says there's nowhere for you to go when there is. He does not offer it to you.
Wait. That's only because once you talk to him, you're locked into that speech and you can't move after you talk to him. The only way you get into the lake, you can't talk to him.
So he would still not offer it to you. So it's essentially
like a different ending. Huh?
So he still wouldn't offer it to you. No matter what, he doesn't offer it to you. You're not supposed to go there.
Yeah, you still have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he doesn't offer it to you because he doesn't know about it, or because he doesn't want you to do it?
I don't know.
Or because he already knows it, maybe? I feel like there's not really a big thing to it. Either way, there's a happiest day ending, and I kind of feel like that's what the ending of the clock route is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like the clock route, and then once Freddy Homunculus sets up FNAF 3 happiest day, it then goes into the lake and then activates Crying Child's Happiest Day. And hey, who knows? Maybe like the reason why Old Man Consequences doesn't say rest is because the Freddy homunculus isn't the one resting. It's the Crying Child, who's a completely different, you know, it's a third party.
Yeah, because like I'm thinking like if Freddy isn't really a thing, it's just code or whatever, yeah, it wouldn't be able to rest. Because it's just code.
I think we cracked it. I think we cracked it, personally.
Like, he doesn't offer it to the player in any circumstance, but he offers it to, like, a spirit, the vengeful spirit later on.
Yeah, and I think that's because in the context of FNAF World, we're playing as weird artificial Freddy homunculus. Meanwhile, in UCN, we're playing as the spirit.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, whose fire alarm is going on?
Sorry, my house is burning down.
Yeah, yeah, you deserve it. Get out of here.
Sorry, is this because I called the
it's because you called the update 2. Update 2.
Scott literally calls it update 2 in the description.
Charlie is literally hoping for a connection terminated script right now.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry, Charlie, but it's called update 2. End communication.
Okay, the glitch world every 2
I believe for some of you there will be peace and perhaps more. But for Charlie, may the darkest pit of update 2's open to swallow you whole.
Yeah, brown, send me to hell. I will. Oh, I'll have my revenge. What?
I'm sending you to the Red Lake. Actually, no, you're not going to the Red Lake. You're going to the fucking fishing minigame of FNAF World.
Okay. We have the clock mini games, which I'm too lazy. Just these are setting up the mini games in FNAF 3 to get the happiest day ending.
Yeah, there's not much more to that, to be honest.
Exactly. Okay, there is one thing I do want to say. DD's fishing hole. It is a character who fishes in a lake and a forest with items underneath it. With the final one being a pearl, that's the most valuable. It's 7 items. 7 is half of 14.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I knew we would get there eventually.
And not only that, but you have to get the pearl 5 times to get it as an item.
No. Raven, I will say this. There is a scrapped character in the fishing minigame that's a turtle. So there is specifically that many.
And not only that, but you have to get the pearl 5 times for it to be a part of your like your bites.
See, this is the theorizing that happens when you call it what it's called.
Oh.
Thank you, Raven.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Halloween update truthers.
So okay, I will say there's 7 items in the lake, 7th being a pearl, and you need to get the pearl 5 times for it to be unlocked for your bites. Hello, Anonymous.
This is a bit of a gripe about this stupid mini game, but like, why can't you go all the way to the right? You like.
Oh, it's so annoying.
It's so annoying.
So angry. Yeah.
Like Scott, I swear to God, if there is a lore relevance to that, and it's not just that you coded it incorrectly, I will fight you.
Okay, I think the last thing there is that there's just Adam Dude, and then we just talk about, like, I don't know, we could talk about the Mimic Ball.
Mimic!
Oh, the Mimic Ball.
Mimic Ball? Sorry.
I will say,
everyone,
the one thing we haven't talked about is
Cosmic.
moveset.
Okay.
Yes, I agree with this.
I just want, it was fun being the Puppet Master, so yeah, just right here, it was fun being the Puppet Master.
Does that mean that he actually isn't the Puppet Master then? It was fun being the Puppet Master.
It was fun being the Puppet Master. But that could also just be him being like, well, it was fun, but you're probably going to beat me. You finally reached me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me pull up the dialogue so I can see what you're
reading. Or like, it could mean like, it was fun being the Puppet Master, as in like the guy behind the scenes.
Yeah, like he's revealed now.
Know, now he's revealed.
Yeah, so he's not hidden anymore.
The one thing we haven't talked about is the movesets, which I feel like we should.
Oh, God.
This is like the thing I always go back to is that there is definitely lore in there in the character movesets.
How many characters get Mimic Ball? I need to know.
Don't make me load up. Do not make me load up FNAF World. I will crash out.
I won't make you.
I won't make you because it's open on my computer.
Terminal, start sharing your screen so I can show chat. Oh, God, dude, I just got scared because someone just got a membership and it played the FNAF 1 sound effect of them at the door. Thank you, Bonafide, for the membership.
Wait,
I got all the attack names up on the FNAF World wiki. So Armor Song is the first one. It's used by Endo01 and Crying Child, and it increases your party's defense. What do we think about that one?
Well, what did it say? Sorry, I was completely out of it.
Okay, hang on. We got for characters with Mimic Ball, we got the Paper Plate Pals.
Okay.
We got RxQ.
Paper Plate Pals, Shadow Bonnie, Fredbear, and Mr. Chipper.
Fredbear.
Mr. Chipper.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I haven't gotten around to getting all the Halloween characters, so I've done everything else in the game.
So I can just...
Well, I think at this point, I think we've very well established.
And then I don't have the Halloween update. It's
that whatever's in the Halloween update, it does not matter.
Yeah.
Update 2.
So you don't have all the characters, Terminal.
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, well... I all want the Halloween characters.
Oh, yours sounds much more complete than mine then.
Yeah, Charlie has like all of them but the Halloween characters, but that's all we really need right now. Okay, Charlie, let's go through them all.
Freddy Fazbear. Nothing of note. Nothing of note. We're going down to the bottom.
Okay, alright, Spring Bonnie, Spring Locks, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Game 2.
Cosmic Song!
Weird. Only shared with Funtime Foxy. Shut up.
What do you think about it? Spring Bonnie and Funtime Foxy are technically the only two characters you like actually haven't seen up to this point, so it would make sense.
Yeah. Fredbear, like I said, has a Mimic Ball. Weird.
Oh, God. Fredbear was a Mimic
Ball.
And RWQ has Mimic Ball.
RWQ's got Mimic Ball.
RXQ.
Actually, it's RXQ.
Go touch grass, Cosmic.
No.
Go
I don't wanna.
Oh, wow.
I don't wanna.
Guys, you know Corey's playing The Binding of Isaac?
Yeah,
wow.
I saw that.
Wow.
Alright, Shadow Fred, you are a little goober. I find it unbelievably weird that all of these are instant kill moves. Well, these are all support moves.
Except for Haunting, technically.
Haunting is a support move.
Okay.
It is not a damaging move.
Fair enough.
It freezes enemies in place.
Like, they are complete opposites of what they were in FNAF 2, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that the characters who have Mimic Ball are Fredbear, who appears in Secret of the Mimic in a poster, the Paper Pals, who one of them has been theorized to be the Mimic, RXQ, who people theorize to be Spring Bonnie, a shadow of Spring Bonnie, which also appears related to the Mimic. And then what's the last one?
Chipper.
Chipper. That's just, I don't know. Maybe there's gonna be a beaver costume. I would not be surprised, frankly.
Chip dates back to
If there
1979
is
to
a
Russ.
beaver costume in Secret of the Mimic Cosmic, if you have memberships, I will give you 10 memberships if they're $1 each. If there is a beaver costume in Secret of the Mimic.
Chipper, there
Has
has to
gift
be.
boxes. That
There needs
Chipper
to be
definitely has
there
Mimic
needs to
Ball
be.
because he mimicked the Freddy Fazbear mindset and just became an animatronic.
Charlie.
That's it.
Charlie.
oh
Someone in my comment section just said you sound like a Karen.
what?
Kill them.
Fuck you! You don't get my FNAF World. you don't get my FNAF World. I may be petty, but I'm not a Karen.
I may be petty, but I'm not a Karen.
Oh my god.
Okay, I think we've kind of reached everything we can with FNAF World, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to try and make like a definitive conclusion on what we think the like in-universe story of FNAF World is, or do we think we already got that?
I mean, it would be good to write it
it's
down.
setting up Happiest Day.
Dream theory.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, so what even is FNAF World? FNAF World is a meta game that Scott hates and we're never covering again.
But Mug only goes to throw up and act like I don't know nobody.
FNAF World is a fun meta game.
That has importance. It's just hard to sift through.
Yeah, about choosing two different paths. One of which is the intended game path with meta jokes, and the other setting up Happiest Day for FNAF 3.
Yeah. And do we want to say separate Happiest Day in the Red Lake for Crying Child?
I'll say there's a separate Happiest Day, but if it's for Crying Child, who knows? Oh yeah, you know what we also need to mention?
Okay. You know,
I feel like
hang on, I want to say, my gunshot theory is that there are, like, the Crying Child gets his own separate Happiest Day with Michael and Elizabeth after the FNAF 6 fire.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking the TV ending is. Like, it's him watching My Bear and Friends with Mike and Elizabeth in front of the TV.
Yeah. Like, all the MCI and Charlie get their Happiest Day in the Happiest Day minigame, and then the Crying Child, Elizabeth, and Michael all get their own Happiest Day, and then William goes and burns in hell. Yippee!
Who is Yellow Eyes Fredbear in the player? I think Adventure Fredbear himself is actually meant to be there, and is just doing his job. I mean,
it is weird.
Even in Update 2,
Adventure
Fredbear says he's getting a new job, and he doesn't even care about it anymore.
Adventure Fredbear does know more than he lets on.
Mm-hmm. Yellow Eyes?
Yeah.
Yellow Eyes could be so many people, man. It really could.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think it's just the Fredbear plush, but as for who the Fredbear plush is, I don't want to talk about that.
The player, I think, is something specifically created in the mind of the Crying Child.
I had an interesting thought the other day, and it was along the lines of the saying, "You were born to do this."
Yeah,
you're not literally. Yeah, but like for that actual saying, "You were born to do something." You're not literally born to, I don't know, become a police officer or something. But like,
I was born to be Cosmic's arch enemy.
Exactly.
So
I have way too many of those already. Okay,
because like I have him down that when Crying Child was born, the first thing that was William said was like, "You are created to go into a digital landscape in your own brain."
Okay, but William would say his kids were created.
He was either creative. I don't know if it'd be to go inside of a digital like scape inside of their own brain after dying.
No, William.
Right.
No, because if you want to boil that down, William would say you were created to die.
I would say you were created to die, but the rest of FNAF World, I don't think so.
Yeah, I definitely think FNAF. I definitely think the Yellow Eyes / Glitch Bear is just the Fredbear plush, and the Fredbear plush might be some weird like imaginary creature type thing. I don't know.
Okay, I've got into arguments about this before with like Shizu. I do not think that the Glitch Bear and Yellow Eyes are the same. Because they directly conflict with each other.
That's what I was coming to the conclusion of after this too.
Okay.
Yeah. Because like the biggest thing with me is that like both like if you take into account that like Yellow Eyes and Fredbear go on to like they say the same thing about it being there being a safe space, a sanctuary. Glitch Bear says like I forget exactly what the line is, but this place is a sanctuary. This place, this is a safe place. The truth is, there is no safe place. Which is like,
yeah.
I've always read that as mocking.
Yeah, Glitch Bear definitely mocks Fredbear.
And then, like if you, and the thing is, you have to actively defy Adventure Fredbear to get the clocks. Right. And so, if you... There's a connection between Adventure Fredbear and Yellow Eyes. And if Glitch Bear is conflicting with Adventure Fredbear and Yellow Eyes, they can't be the same.
The other weird thing with Glitch Bear and Fredbear is that they only appear in the same places, too. It's only when you stare at Fredbear, he switches into Glitch Bear.
Yeah, it's weird. What was it called? What was it? Oh my god. Don't you just hate it when you have epiphanies and then don't ever write them down?
Yes.
Not a me problem, because I'm always at my desk.
Bro's the desk man.
I am the desk man in disguise. Well, been deceived for years.
Digital Dog asked if we could talk about what Circus Baby says. Doesn't she just say, "Everyone, please take your seats. The show is about to begin."
Everyone,
the show will begin.
Yeah, she doesn't really say anything important. Unless if she says there's 14 seats.
Is dead.
Dead.
14 stab wounds.
I hope all my enemies are dead.
Wait, if you think about 14 is half of 28, and how many stab wounds did that one innocent man receive in Detroit Become Human?
Stab
I haven't played the game.
28 stab wounds. Golden Freddy stabbed that man to death.
Welcome to game theory.
Golden Freddy is in Detroit Become Human.
Detroit Become Human is the future of Five Nights at Freddy's, where human animatronics become real.
Oh, man. I'll say, I'm surprised FNAF World only took us about 2 hours to go through, but there really isn't much. Oh, there is one thing I do want to mention, actually.
We never talked about Glitch.
Huh?
I mean, I feel like Glitch Bear.
We did talk about
Glitch Bear and Yellow Eyes.
We did. We didn't talk a lot then, because I would have mentioned that.
Yeah, we skimmed past them.
Yeah.
No, I talked about them.
I kind of.
Well, we didn't do what we did with the Fredbear, where we read his lines.
Yeah, I did. I didn't want to do that.
We were just like, this is important to say from his. Yeah.
Yeah, I read through them while y'all were crashing out. But
I kind of feel like
entertained.
God, what else?
I kind of feel like
I
feel like Glitch Bear and Yellow Eyes kind of should be the same character, and I feel like it's not really Glitch Bear mocking Fredbear or mocking anyone. I feel like he's just being sarcastic, because the whole thing that Glitch Bear does is that he's going against the game world. Like, he's aware he's in this, like, weird meta thing. He knows he's in a game. So I feel like instead of, like, mocking Yellow Eyes if they're a separate person, I feel like he's more so mocking the idea of, like, that there is a set path, that this is really just a video game, that, like, all of these, like, that everything the video game is building up to be important decisions, they're not actually important. I feel like that's more so what he's talking about.
The dancing shout from that snow area is the best FNAF character, I agree.
But something me and Koyo had found a little while ago, between the beginning and the ending with Yellow Eyes switches from I to we. Goes from, like, that's why I am here, but I won't let the same happen to you. But then switches to we are still your friends. Do you believe that? All the pieces of place, all you have to do is find them. Like,
because he's quoting the FNAF 4 Fredbear plush.
Oh, but why?
Because bro's the FNAF 4 Fredbear plush.
Yeah, I feel like you connect that pretty easily.
Yeah, I feel like there can't really be anything other than
and they're both in a void
plush.
Too. If we're in Crying Child's head, that's even more. And if we're in Crying Child's head, even more of a connection. We're in a void in Crying Child's head with the Fredbear plush across from us.
Yellow Eyes is Cassidy.
Yeah,
that's where I'm leaving it.
All right, that is it for this episode of FNAF
World.
All right.
I feel like.
But
I feel like it could also
Yellow Eyes, Cassidy, and Glitch Bear is the puppet.
I do want to say
That's
this.
The theory.
I forget who brought this up to me.
There you go.
But someone in the FNAF Tube server did mention that the best chests in the game are golden chests.
Yes.
And then the average chests are chests that look like the FNAF 4 box.
That's not true.
I'm pretty sure they're red.
Well, no, we're talking about the currency chests.
The chip chests.
We're talking about the currency chests.
Oh.
And those are silver, not like.
Yeah.
Send me the file.
Like, the FNAF World box is way brighter.
Yeah, because it's in a spotlight.
Yeah.
No, the FNAF World box is brighter. And it only has
There's
one lock.
There's also only one lock.
They're not
Beat
the
me
same.
to it.
Yeah, and it's not... And that's not even the best chest. That gives you, like, 10 Faz coins.
Yeah, it's the gold one.
The FNAF World is also... it also only has
the silver
the one lock.
10 Faz coins. The golden one gives you... Yeah, that one gives you 50.
Is it FNAF World?
5?
World, the one that gives us the image of the open box?
Yeah.
Okay. It just never went anywhere?
Yeah, it just never went anywhere.
It was in the files.
Well, Cassidy isn't crying in Happiest Day. Cassidy's just kind of sitting there.
She's vibing.
Yeah.
She's vibing?
Yeah,
no, Cassidy's crying in Happiest Day.
Is she? I thought she just kind of like was sitting there looking depressed, but wasn't crying.
No, I'm pretty. No, it's the. I mean, it's the same sprite for every single spirit. It's just copy and pasted. Just multiple times. Yeah, hang on. Let me get it.
The one in Happiest Day. Yeah, that I think is crying.
Yeah, see?
Oh
yeah. Crying thing. Small sad thing.
Small sad creature. Don't look at me. We're not talking about. We're talking about the small child. Not me.
Kind of unrelated, but something I hate seeing in theory videos is like the FNAF 3 happiest day receiver must be the FNAF 4 must be the FNAF 4 crying child because they're crying. And I'm just like, it uses the same sprite for every MCI children. They're all crying. What are you talking about?
They're all the crying child.
Are you dumb on purpose? Like what? What's that logic? What is that logic?
No, hang on. They might be onto something. The crying child dies 5 times. William does successfully put him back together.
He just also keeps dying. Just really bad at staying alive.
William's like, oh god, not again.
Bro's sitting there in the bunker like, oh, for fuck's sake, what the hell is going on?
No, crying child.
That's why he just terrifies him in the
secretly every single MCI victim. Crying child
exactly
every single MCI victim, just coming back repeatedly.
He just keeps hopping into the ball pit. There's 5 of them at the MCI location.
Guys, trust. Don't look into it. It's real. It's canon. Scott said so in
canon.
In
a dream.
The slumber files.
The slumber
files.
The slumber files.
Alright, I don't think there's anything else for us to cover today, but if there is anything, we're just gonna add it to the doc. But yeah, that is everything. So yeah. Oh boy.
This was a time.
This was probably one of the most fun note streams I've had, not gonna lie.
This was the stream ever.
One of the streams of all time.
Yeah, better than TD, the candle. Also, since TD didn't ever join, so I could give him the message, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up posting the picture, and he knows exactly what picture I'm talking about. Alright, I'm going to end the stream here. So, of course, thank you so much to Terminal Error, Cosmic Star, and Charlie Emily with the sore throat being here. Go check out all of them. Maybe one day when Charlie uploads, I'll be able to find more of their content.
I'm working on it. Oh my god. I literally listen. Ryan Toast made me scrap my FNAF World video for later. All right.
Make a video on the Halloween edition. Make a video on the Halloween edition. No, because it's not called the Halloween edition. It's called the Halloween update. They are very different things.
There's the Halloween edition and there's update too. Yes, they are. Oh my god.
Alright, and I'm going to be live again on Sunday for the Bunny Graveyard while these two are crashing out. I hope you all enjoy. I will see you there. It's 1 p.m. CST.
I'm gonna turn you into
Have a great day.